This is Beyond the Showroom, where you'll learn tips and techniques on the car buying process, how to get the best deal, what scams to watch out for, and much more. Here's your host and one of the foremost automotive business experts in the country, the Chevy dude, Mike Davenport.
And hello, everyone. Glad to be on live tonight. We got Mrs. Chevy Dude over here.
I want to know who you are.
I am. I got this camera messed up.
Oh, so now you have my camera messed up. That's real nice.
There we go. We got you, folks.
You always have a problem every single time we get live.
I know. We got to do it more.
Can't you get it, get with it?
We got to do it. We got to do it more. I didn't put up the lights. I forgot to put up the lights. Cliff Bradley. I see Cliff Bradley on. Chris, what's going on? Dwayne, Frank, James Wright, John Charles. I'm glad you like the music. Joe, John.
Not
Johnny,
everybody liked the music.
Kobe. That's all right. That's not for everybody. We're just having fun. So, who else? Man, we got a lot of people on. Joshua, Kobe, Kyle, Lou.
People are wanting to know when
Mr. Chevy. Mr. Chevy. Yes, hoodies. Yes.
It should be going out.
Yes.
Hopefully within
soon. So, just a little slow on the supplier. This was a complicated design. We do have less than 30 left. We have 29 left. So we got just a few large, extra large, and like single digit 2XLs. So ChevyDudeStore.com is where you can get them. I'm excited tonight. We're gonna just ask your questions, answer your questions. You ask the questions, we answer the questions.
Yeah. What are you supposed to be asking?
I'm not asking anything.
Good.
I mean, you're asking more questions than I am already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to do something.
So, we'll have some fun tonight, I think.
I mean, I have to force you to get on this.
King of the Road C6. What's up? Kobe D, Kyle Swisher, Lou Panzano. There's a Mr. Chevy on here. I love that. Thomas Wilson. How's it going? Tim, Tracy, KB, glad to have you guys all here. Hemi Life, how's it going? Glad you guys are here tonight. I'm really excited to have everyone on. This is really fun. I always love doing these. You like going live, don't you?
I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think you do.
It's just a lot of prep time, right? So that's
I mean, I've only been on you for weeks. It's like we need to start doing this more often again.
Yes. So I'm gonna knock this out. I'm gonna knock this segment out with I put a thing in for pre-live, which I didn't tell you. I put a thing in for pre-live questions. Like, so if you wanted to get your questions in early and I could read them and whatnot, but so that's no more. We're not going to look at it after this. I'm gonna answer one or two questions from this. But Natalie from California, she put unfortunately, she asked an amazing question, and I'm really excited to answer this question because I've been thinking about it. She submitted it last night at 22:40. So I was flying. Was I flying home? Yeah, I was flying home last night. At that time,
Are you sure?
22:40. Yeah. I was just landing. Yeah. I was just getting ready to land. So
last night was kind of a blur.
Yes, it was. So I delivered last night. Yesterday I drove, which we're not telling anybody where we went, just so you know. So last night or yesterday.
So you drove somewhere in America.
Yes.
And you flew home.
Yes.
And I went out and partied without you.
Yes. So we had a car that I needed I just wanted to go over and beyond. You'll see a video next Sunday, not tomorrow. A week from today is when the video will go live and whatnot. So Aaron super chatted in. Me and my girl bought a car together, and we're upside down in it. Car's worth 19, a loan is 27. Should I pay off the loan or get another car? So here's my philosophy on that, Aaron. Is never roll over more than $2,000. Never roll over more than $2,000 of negative equity. That's something hard for most people. Most people cannot fathom, I got to pay this all the way down, so there's $2,000 negative equity. And the reason I say that is because that big negative equity just snowballs and just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, you end up adding to the next car that $9,000, $10,000, whatever it is. And so if you are payment conscious and need a, say a $500 payment, you're looking at a pretty cheap car when you have to roll in that much negative equity.
Yeah, and then you can't even roll in that much negative equity with cheap cars because you got loan to value issues. But then, like I said, snowball effect, it just keeps weighing on your shoulders that you're in this car. So in a short period of time, say 2 to 3 years, you could be out of that negative equity, right? So if you sacrifice for whatever time, just a couple more years and pay that down, you'll be good. You'll be good to go. I've actually been researching kind of a way to get out of it, and I haven't found any professional advice. By no means am I a financial advisor, but the biggest thing is I want to be able to do a video on good advice. And, Dave Ramsey talks about the snowball effect. I've seen some of the other called avalanche effect. Snowball effect is you knock out your smallest debt and you keep going up, the smallest balance of debt, keep going up like that. And then there's an avalanche effect where you go to the debt with the highest interest rate. Doesn't matter on the value of the debt, just whatever the highest interest rate is. And you pay that, and you pay all your other debts as agreed with the minimum balance. And then once you get that highest interest rate gone, you go to the next highest interest rate, and you take that money that you are paying to that bill and add it onto the minimum balance of your next bill, and you keep doing that. So there's a couple of ways to do it, but just got to look at it. E-Vapors asked, do you have any allocations for a C8? I am in NC, North Carolina, and would like to know that I have an actual order in LT2 Z51 package. So allocations are goofy on C8s. I know we're going to get a lot of C8 questions tonight, but so in a nutshell, we have 2 more months of allocations that we're told so far this month, March, and then we have April, and our dealership has 14 of each month. And if you're on my list, you already know that because I updated everyone on those lists. And then also I can get a car. That's not an issue getting a car. The issue is the factory building the car, and the factory is going to take you 18 months to get a car if you get on a list today. And it's proven to be true. It really is proven to be true. I've been saying 18 months for well over a year now, and it's coming to be true. And so, but I do have 2 cars. I do have a 2LT non-Z51, 2LT not Z51, black exterior, red and black interior, GT3 seats, and it's $100,000. And then I have a 3LT black exterior, Z51, transparent roof, front lift, transparent top, magnetic ride control, natural dipped interior, and that's a 3LT, and it's $106,000. And so I know the very first thing people are like, wait a second, those are over MSRP. So I'm saying this to everyone, and I'm not selling any new car over MSRP, and I haven't. There's no such thing as an MSRP on a used car. These are both used cars with 1,600 miles. And with that being said, you buy used cars based off the market. We buy used cars based off the market. And a good thing that what I was just looking at with the data is an Equinox, an 18 Equinox, a 19 Equinox that I can retail for about $17,000 30 days ago. 17,450 is the exact number. That Equinox that I can retail for $17,400 is now being wholesaled for about $17,500. And then you got to add on that type of price of a vehicle, you have to add on $500 auction fees because we have to pay the auction $500 to buy that car. And then you have $300 to $500 to ship that car to us. And then we have service, then we have detail. So it all adds up. So now these cars are going to be about $19,000. I guarantee it. So everything is going way, way up on everything. So it's never interesting thing.
Okay. Are you done with your rant?
Yep, done. Done.
So Frank B said, I found a car at my local CarMax. Any negotiating tips for them? Wasn't sure if they did deals differently.
So CarMax does not negotiate in any way, shape, or form. So you just need to look at in CarMax. I don't think they're even on Car Gurus. So you just need to go out and find those light
I've
cars.
Never seen a CarMax car on there.
Look at Car Gurus and see what other cars are going, what the market value is, stuff like that, and decide on there. CarMax, most of their cars are rental cars. Not all of them. Most of them are. But that's just kind of the way it is. But if you find a nice vehicle at CarMax, buy it, but just do an inspection. So, and then so I'm gonna get with to Natalie, right?
Get back to
the super chat. The super chat started coming in, and super chats,
and we appreciate them so much.
Yeah,
but let's try to get this back to this Natalie that
so
had a question.
Natalie from unfortunately California, she puts it. She says, just got into your videos. Thanks for all the info. Okay. And then, so I'm terrified of wasting / losing money. Bad luck with cars in the past, and I'm not confident in negotiating. I've been dragging my feet for over 18 months now without a car, and it's wearing on me and infringing on my life / work. I'm in LA. I love to buy from a private party. I know that's not necessarily your area of focus. I can help on that. But I'm finding most sellers in the area are unwilling to have me take the car to a verified mechanic. I offer to meet them, leave them a copy of my driver's license, whatever, but they won't budge. I feel like I'm trapped in an endless cycle of looking at cars, calling some people, and then never getting past those few steps. Congratulations to Facebook Marketplace.
I mean, the main thing is private owners are probably too scared to have their car looked at and then have to sit there and take less money because a mechanic finds something wrong, or they know something's wrong with the car.
Yeah. So, the biggest thing is when you have a car inspected, you're not inspecting that car to find problems. You're inspecting the car to see what problems it has. So I never sit there and be like, I'm doing an inspection with this crazy idea that they're going to come back and tell me it's a perfect car, right? That's what most consumers, I feel, think. So when I have a customer, and we sell what we call bargain lot, right? So this is anything over 100,000 miles. We at 125,000 miles, we stop all inspections on the car. At 100,000 miles to 125,000 miles, we do what's called a safety inspection. We make sure that the brakes are there. We make sure that they're not, almost being done. We just make sure that the car's going to run. It's going to get off the lot. You buy it as is. You sign that you're buying as is. And I go to the extent, because you guys know my full transparency and just over the top of being honest, is I tell customers, if you sign this, you pay for this, you drive out of here, you break the brake car, and the car breaks into two pieces, congratulations, you own both pieces. You can't come back to me and say, hey, I want my money back, the car broke. You're buying it as is. So with that being said, you want to do an inspection on a car, not to assume that it's perfect or to find out what's wrong, just what you're getting yourself into. And then at that point, you need to ask yourself, do I want to get into this car? Do I want to spend this money on this? So the reason, and Mrs. Chevy Dude hit it on the head.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. So most consumers just don't know how to sell cars. Most consumers don't know how to buy cars. So when you as a consumer are wanting to go buy a car and you ask for it to be inspected, they are
crickets.
Scared. They're scared, right? Because they don't know.
I have to know where you're going with these things.
I know. I'm trying to test you.
Oh.
So they don't know what's wrong with their car. So if you don't know, you automatically have to put up a defense, right? You want to defend yourself. Nope, sorry. I don't trust you. I don't know you. Even though you could give driver's license, you could show credit cards. You could say, hey,
well, we know driver's license doesn't always work.
Right. So you could give them $500 cash. You can give them $1,000 cash, whatever the case may be. But that's your risk at buying private. Now, Natalie, I would say look at car dealers as well. So consumers are going to be more likelihood to negotiate on a car deal. Good dealerships are not negotiating anymore. That's pretty much done, especially right now, the way the used car market is, what I explained in the last question. So you've got to kind of just look over that stuff and just go in with confidence. Watch all the videos, not just my videos, right? There's plenty of videos on the internet that tell you how to buy cars. Now, I wouldn't be doing myself justice if I didn't say mine were the best.
I was going to say, please watch the Chevy Dude. I need a new car.
Right. So but just go in and know that you're buying a machine, you're buying a good piece of car. If you're buying something with 30, 40,000 miles on it, not a big deal. If you're buying something with 150,000 miles, you're going to expect, and I know you know this already, Natalie, you're going to expect there be problems. So just go in there with confidence. If you're on here and you got a follow up question, let me know. Just throw it in the comments, and Mrs. Chevy Dude will see that.
I might.
Yes. So JJ,
let's get to our super chat.
Yes, JJ from SoCal as well. What's your thoughts on big down payments? I've been saving up for a truck, and I want to place a 65% down payment on a $30,000 truck. Yes, that's exactly what you do. So, so a couple things that I like is I like to keep my liquid capital. Make sure you're in a equitable position, at least 20% down. If you're putting 30, 40, 50, 65% down, like you said here, that's awesome. You're going to have some amazing information on there. And you're going to get some amazing interest rates and stuff like that, and you'll be fine. So yeah, if you want to put 50% down and, put 15 grand down and keep some money, then you'll be fine. Jean Charles says and asks, I just bought a new 2021 Camaro, 2SS, 1LE, and my wireless Apple CarPlay acts funky. There are times where it doesn't even connect right. Is this a Chevy issue or Apple issue? Should I bring it in? It's funny you say that. I'm not big on wireless. I think the wireless Apple CarPlay is kind of goofy, and somebody was just into the dealership tonight. Tammy had a customer that they bought a car on Tuesday. I was selling them there on Tuesday. And their car, it's flickering, and the voice is flickering, and the music is flickering. And I said, it's a phone problem. It's a phone issue. They plug their phone in, voila, it's not an issue. So I think there's still some issues overall, but the thing that I would do on that is make sure that you do a soft reset on your cell phone. So basically just turn it off and turn it on, and then
which is always good, especially if you have an iPhone.
Yep. And that should do it. And if it does keep coming up, get with Chevy. This whole wireless Apple CarPlay is all brand new for 2021 on Chevy, and I haven't even really played with it much, but I'm a tech guy and I know exactly how things working. But a soft reset will help it out and whatnot. So I saw Cliff Bradley say your auto advocate is really good. I think they are a good place to get information as well. They do have some good stuff. Some of their stuff has been outdated because Dad's not in the auto business anymore, and there's some new stuff. But I think they have a really good team behind them. It's just me and you. So,
yeah, I am your team.
Right. So, but I live and die the car business, and I know what's going on behind closed doors. I know what's going on at auctions. So I think they've got some really cool stuff. But I'm not sure. They did a video with me, and it's the first time that I ever heard of them or saw them, and I don't get to watch them much, but I don't get to watch any of them much.
Yeah,
but
you've been told to watch more YouTube.
I know.
I like this question, and you'll understand why. It says, I will be financing a vehicle in Cali later this year. My main two options are between the Model Y and the Blazer RS. Big differences there.
Yeah.
Very big. I will be putting down $15,000. Anything I should know about the Blazer RS?
The Blazer RS.
Guess what?
Wait. What are you going to say?
Don't we? Oh, no, we don't. It hasn't gone live yet.
No, it has not gone live yet.
Darn it.
We get all these.
I keep getting mixed up with all the stuff that we have.
Yes, I know, for real. So Blazer RS is my absolute favorite trim level. By far my favorite. And so why does it say it's lagging?
I know. I was just about to ask you about that. We're having some problems.
Your YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Open widget.
I don't know why.
Shouldn't be us. That's plugged in right? Error. That's not good.
YouTube not liking us.
Yep. It's not us. I swear. I'm going to try to do a test right here.
Yeah, we started, I guess, lagging, and your Jean Charles didn't even finish hearing the answer
really?
Because we were lagging. So
that's not good. So,
not good.
Stream health is poor. Stream settings.
Why do we always have problems?
I don't know. We shouldn't have any problems. It's not our system. Yeah, I mean, I've got 600 down. I'm running a quick speed test so that way we got this right.
YouTube just doesn't want us on tonight.
Yeah. And I'm running 1620 up. Now there's 20, there's 22, 25. So I got 25 up. As long as we got 25 up, we're good.
We should be having 40 up though.
We should be, yes, correct. 32, 33. Yeah, it's up there. 33. I don't know. So let me make sure. Let me check this real quick. This is never. So stream. I got use high quality video mode. I can't change that while I'm live. Okay, it says good now. I don't know what changed. So sorry about that. I didn't hear my answer.
I have a warning. The stream's current bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate.
I have that too. I'll get back to yours. So let's go back to John Charles. Let's go back.
Yeah, I was trying to respond in the chat just in case.
Yep.
We have some.
So he was asking about
the
Apple
wireless.
Wireless Apple CarPlay. Okay, so wireless Apple CarPlay. What I was saying earlier was that this is all new technology, and I just had someone come into the dealership today having issues with it, and it led to just their phone. So it worked perfectly when we plugged it in, but it was having problems with the wireless part. So I'm not a big fan of the wireless Apple CarPlay. There's still a lot of data transfer, and they always told us that Apple CarPlay was never going to be wireless because there's so much data. So my recommendation is just to plug it in, but I think it's new technology and that we might have issues on that. So let me know that both of those super chats, if you guys
Cliff said we're working now.
Okay, cool. Jean Charles just said it's working now. I don't know what happened there. It's your stream's current bit rate is 1366 kps, is lower than recommended.
I know. I don't understand what's going on.
All right, we'll just worry about it later. So so hopefully that gets done at lifter failure by certain mileage or random. So
let's go back to the Blazer RS.
Yes, Blazer RS.
Because we were talking about the Blazer RS.
Yes. So Blazer RS is by far my most favorite option. Trim level of the Blazer. So what do you think the difference between Blazer and why?
Well, one has a gas engine and one is run on batteries. So there's your biggest
ding,
thing.
ding, ding. Okay, there you go. Thanks. We're going to end the stream right here. She said the wise batteries in the gas engine and the Trailblazer or the Blazer RS.
But, I think the Blazer, I haven't seen them side by side, but I would assume the Blazer is probably a tad bigger.
Yep.
Giving you a little more space. And from what I hear, a 7-seater Y, those last two seats are just basically like sitting in the Camaro.
Yeah. So can I rant a little bit about Tesla?
No.
So I'm gonna rant anyway. I don't care what you say.
We have two super chats.
I see them. So here's what I won't rant long, but here's the thing with Tesla. When you're not involved with Tesla, you think Tesla is the best company in the world. They got the best service. They got the best sales process. I don't have to deal with people like myself, salespeople, blah, 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 blah. When you get involved with Tesla, you see Tesla's quality is extremely low. Everyone complains about their car. And what you don't know about Tesla is if you get in minor fender benders, it costs a lot of time, a lot of money, and you possibly could have a total vehicle. And the insurance on a Tesla is not cheap. I have a 2020 Corvette, and I'm not bragging. It's a 6-figure Corvette. My 2013 Tesla Model S is more money to insure than my 2020 6-figure Corvette. And it's not even close. It's several $100s more per year.
Yep.
It's nowhere close.
I mean, we pay a ridiculous amount for the 13 Tesla.
Yep.
Which is so old in Tesla world.
Yep. And my friend Troy has got a Model X that he barely drives. This guy's loaded. He's got buku bucks, and he just took his Model X into Tesla service, and they literally stood on his seat and left footprints and returned his car that way. So I'm not dogging Tesla. I want to make sure I'm very, very clear on that. What I'm telling you is, unfortunately, in our world, including my own dealership, service sucks, right? So go into Tesla because you want an electric vehicle. Go into Tesla because you like the style. Don't go into Tesla because what you think they are. Until you know firsthand, that's what you not need to do.
The nice thing is, most of the time you don't have maintenance and repair stuff to do. And we've had great success or experience with the mobile Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've only had to send the car to a service center once.
And we had great experience with that too, right?
Yes.
So I knew somebody at that Tesla service center and he kind of kept me up to date, but we've always had good service with Tesla. So we just see a mass people all over the country, especially California people are complaining big time. So
I can tell you, I'm kind of scared to even get an X right now because everybody keeps talking about this acceleration shutter.
Yeah.
And that Tesla has no fix for it.
So, and I'm glad I didn't even know about that. But here's the thing, and I was getting ready to say is like, it's just with Chevy. You go out on the internet and you see people bashing Chevy. Chevy sucks, GM sucks, the quality sucks, right? It's not really the case. And that's not a biased opinion. That's just fact, third-party facts. So buy what you like. Things are going to happen. Problems are going to happen. Things are going to break. Everything in this world is human, or everything is made by a human. And what I always say and always do, and this is the firefighter in me and the medic in me, that a 2-year-old kid should not have heart issues. They should not have seizures. They should not have health issues, but they do. That's why we have NICUs, right? So nothing.
NICU is not for a 2-year-old.
Well, I'm just saying newborns. But everything in this world has got problems. Everything in this world is nothing perfect. And that's what I would say. Just buy what you like and buy what you have. And if you get a good experience from a dealership, perfect, but it is what it is. So
let's go to Thomas Wilson. Thank you for the super chat.
Yes, I saw that.
Of 50.
Stephen Rapp just bought the Walk Around Wednesday RST.
You missed another super chat.
No, I was getting ready. I put it up there, but you went to the other one. So Michael, right?
Yeah.
I'm 109 on your C8 list. When do you think you could get to my position? I'm really excited to place my order. Who's this? What list? What's a C8? No. So
yeah, we have no clue what a C8 is. Please do not buy from this guy. He has absolutely no clue what he is doing.
Is that a Camaro? Is that a Ford?
Hey, everybody says it looks like a Camaro.
I know, right? So it should be quick. I think I'm going to send out some text messages tomorrow to get like the next 10, 15 people done. So I'm just playing it safe because right now we have the only next 2 months of allocations, and that would be March and April, and we got 14 apiece with our dealership. And the last 5 weeks, they've only produced vehicles 1 week of the last 5 weeks, and that's
they're
dreadful.
Getting themselves super behind.
So,
and then you have colors going out.
Yep, correct.
So if your order is not in by a certain time, you may not get that particular color.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Of course, it sounds like all they did was change the orange, change the silver, and change the brown.
And I don't even look at that stuff. Like I'm not in Corvette forum. I'm not on the Corvette forum. I'm not in Corvette.
If
I don't
Facebook
read
didn't
Corvette
serve
blogger.
it up to me,
I don't look at any of that
you
stuff.
put me in a Corvette thing on Facebook, a group.
You can get out.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I sit there and just scroll on Facebook. I don't really pay attention to crap, especially when it gets political. So,
all right. So Steven, I didn't see the Steven question because I was looking over here. He says, when should we expect our hoodies? So the hoodie orders placed. They're all made. They're just shipping them to me. And as soon as I get them, I'm going to make her
send them all
out. Right. So no. So we should get them soon. We have less than 30. We have only like 29, 28 of them left, but it's just, they should be there. So I'm as much as I have all this following on social media and YouTube, right? I'm a small business. And so for me to buy all these hoodies, and which the money thing is not an issue, right? But to buy an inventory all these hoodies is not feasible for me. So I wanted to try this out to see if it would work. And it also gives me good data of what people are buying, so that if once I get to the point that I can start stocking stuff, that, okay, it's really simple, right? So I appreciate you guys is doing this, which is why they were only $55 and $60 rather than $75 and $80, what they were originally going to be. And I had other people tell me that I sold these way too cheap. You're not making a lot of money on them, but it was more of a test that I want to get into more merch. I want to do some other things because people have been asking me about doing stuff, and merch has not been something that I have focused on by any way, shape, or form.
Well, before he put that super chat in, we appreciate that. I did see his question asking if I get to drive your C8.
You've driven it a couple times.
I've driven it probably about 5 times since you've owned it.
Which she can drive it tomorrow. She can drive it now. I don't care.
Yeah, I just haven't, driven it. When it's home, I mean, I rarely go any place without you when the car's home. Right. And then I just drive. And of course, I have my C7 that I can always uncover and take out.
Yeah, you drove the last 2 hours in Tampa, going to Tampa.
I did. But that was the only 2 hours I drove the whole time we were in Florida.
So we were, and Michael said he loves our humor.
We have a couple super chats.
I appreciate that. We have fun.
Oh.
So we've been.
We have fun.
Well, I mean, I have fun. I don't care about what kind of fun
you
you have.
You have fun making fun of me.
That's fun.
Oh.
So
good thing I can give it back.
Right. So, we've been together since we were 15 years old, and
I was 14.
14.
You corrupted me.
No, you corrupted me.
No.
I was a good person.
I was a good Catholic schoolgirl.
And that's the problem. So
until I met you, and then I was no longer a good Catholic schoolgirl. 15,
14, we're 43 now. We've been together forever. I hate her, but I just have to deal with it. So, you hate me?
I would say most days I don't, but right now, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, man. Okay, let's get back to a super chat we haven't answered yet.
Mr. Brown? Mrs. Brown? I didn't want to assume gender. C. Brown.
C. Brown. That works.
We'll be in the market for a truck this year. I know what I want and price I want. How should I approach a dealer? Who goes first, or drop my price on them? So good luck. The market right now is crazy. I'm working on a video to kind of update everybody on the market. The best thing to do, which I got a video coming out next week on this too, is if it's a Chevy, just order it and just get it done. Pricing right now, supply and demand is so crazy. And the inventory is so low that it's tough. So, if you're in, I did my video back in October, I think, about the year end. That video is pretty relevant today. Same with Tahoes. Don't expect a Tahoe of any discount. I had a lady call me today, and she goes, "Yeah, I see you guys got a Tahoe that I'm interested in. How much are you willing to come off MSRP?" None. Why? Well, this dealer down in Mississippi, where I'm from, they're discounting them pretty heavily. I'm like, then why are you calling us? Why don't you buy it from the one in Mississippi? Well, they don't have what I like.
Exactly.
Okay, so why?
And if they're discounting, it's because they bought.
They're not discounting. I guarantee they're not. So
well, I'm just sitting there thinking they either ordered what people are not wanting,
right? And
it's been sitting on the lot for way too long.
The Z71 is the hottest trim level right now for us, anyways. We're selling a lot of Z71s, so we have everything that we have coming in. Like, our goal is to sell it before it gets to the dealership. Like, we don't want any Tahoes or Suburbans on our lot ever. We have one right now, and Ryan Bachman's driving that. So to answer your question as far as how to approach it is look at what they're showing online. If they're showing discounts, that's the type of discount you should be able to get doing a factory order. And if you are looking for vehicles and you find the exact vehicle that you want, go directly to that dealer. Don't go to your local dealer and say, "Hey, can you get this from this dealer?" Go directly and deal with that dealer, because time right now is the most precious thing, and time kills deals. So if you are working with that dealer and you try to go get it, there could be somebody walking in and buying that truck. I'm telling you, trucks and Tahoes right now, Tahoes and Suburbans are the toughest things. Colorados, Blazers, those vehicles are the hottest ones that Chevys are selling, and we can't keep them in stock. And we're a top 200 Chevy dealership, so I think I have a good mix on what the market is. And just to the east of us, an hour and a half, is a top 10 dealership, and I've watched what they do and what they have, and they usually double us up in sales, and they only sold like 50 extra units over us. So and that's not because they weren't doing good. That's an inventory issue. I promise you, it's an inventory issue.
But I mean, I don't know about, because I don't pay attention to Ford and everybody else, but I have seen like GM's having some supply issues.
Yeah, everybody is, and so everybody's waiting on this microchip thing, but it's just supply issues. It's with us. We're still trying to catch up from COVID and from the strike. Other people, it's COVID, it's different things. There are the microchip issues. You know, the Ford F-150 plant is down to one shift, I believe, in Kansas, right? Kansas, Oklahoma, something like that. So John Charles says, I'm a nurse from Florida, and I was sent to New York to help with the COVID-19 relief. Shout out to all the emergency response nurses in the front lines. Anyways, I'm getting married in July. Any advice on myself and fiance? So
I think the super chat from Michael earlier, happy wife, happy life.
That's right. That's right.
That rings true on, I think, both ends. So if you both are making sure you are doing things for the other, supporting them, help out around the house, or like for Mike and I, we have the understanding when we had kids that I got to stay home and I just kept the house clean, cooked, did all that stuff. Don't even say a word, mister. I see that face.
Okay, go ahead. I'm not going to say anything.
And,
she
he
didn't do a very good job.
Thanks.
I should have fired you, but,
Hey, it took COVID for me to get fired from working for you.
I wrote you up multiple times.
But, we just had that understanding that the household stuff was mine, and he had to go to work and make the money and pay the bills. And now that all the kids are grown up, we still kind of have that understanding. I take care of the kids, our dogs, and he goes to work, makes me money, and I don't spend it.
Yeah. So, and I think what she says, and what I tell everybody too, is just the open line communication, right? So nothing ever happens if you're in a heated moment and start screaming at each other or throwing things at each other. And I know that's kind of like tough to do. That's
about.
Right. So, but like the issue is like, okay, let's communicate and just get through the issue, right? So that's like my biggest thing that I try to do. And
until you decide that you don't want to talk anymore, and then you just I
do shut up.
You guys would never know that he shuts up because he talks a lot on his videos and in the live stream, but he does know how to be quiet.
Yeah, exactly. I do. So Valley Dude says, what's my take on the Ford Bronco? I'm not a fan of the Ford Bronco. I'm not for the Hummer either. So just to kind of like, again, not show bias, because I'm usually biased towards GM. I don't like either one of them. So I think the Ford Bronco is going to flop. I think the Hummer is going to flop. Hummer's already flopped once. It's going to flop again because you can't, outside of Jeep, you can't improve square. It's just one look. That's it.
Jeep improves square.
No, they haven't. But they have a cult following, right? The Wrangler's got a cult following.
I like the Wrangler. I'm not a fan of the Gladiator.
Nope, not either.
But
that'll be gone in 3 years. But whole Chrysler, everything in Chrysler sucks anyways. So like they have not improved anything at all. And the only thing that they ever do is like, let's put more horsepower in it. Right? They're when this industry goes full electric, they're gonna be flat on their butt. I mean, they're just setting themselves up for bankruptcy again. So, but I think a lot of the Bronco is cheap. I've seen the sports are out now. The big one is what people are going to go after. But I think within the first model year, if production goes smooth for everything, you're going to see the second year they're going to be discounting them heavily.
I think the main thing with the Bronco that Ford did right was nostalgia. They made it look like something new, but still give it that old look.
Yep.
So where Chevy came out with a Blazer and a Trailblazer, and it looks nothing like the originals. So, you know, Ford did bring back that nostalgia for us older people that actually know what a Ford Bronco looked like.
Yeah.
OJ.
So, you know, we mentioned earlier, we're both 43, and, you know, we're right on the edge of knowing what a Ford Bronco, you know, is and stuff like that. So, I
was in an airport in Minneapolis coming home from Paris, watching OJ on the, what was it, the I-10 or whatever that he was being chased on.
Yeah, whatever it was out in California.
So that was 16 years old.
Right.
So, I mean, I think you're, you know, few people younger. My brother probably knows what a Ford Bronco really looks like.
Yeah, but he's
too.
only 4 years younger than us. So, but the people who bought who designed Chevy's Blazer and Trailblazer, they're all in their 20s. They don't know anything about that stuff. So, but here's the thing, right? And we've seen it, and I don't get into politics, and I don't watch politics, and I don't get any of that crap. But now here we got gas prices going back up, and that's going to hurt stuff. So, but with the Hummer, I'm not a fan of the Hummer because I think they made stuff cheap. I don't like the idea, and this is just my personal opinion. I don't like the idea of how the tops come off like a Jeep. They just like the hard top. You probably don't know what they do come off, but
I haven't even looked at the Hummer because I'm not interested in a truck.
It's just cheap. That's all. Rant over. Steven Rapp. He bought my Walk Around Wednesday RST, so I appreciate you. And
then he wants you to take me out for dinner.
I'll take you out for dinner.
Just no margaritas.
It's March again, so
no margaritas.
Can we cook tomahawks again?
I was thinking about doing that tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
I haven't gotten one out yet, but I was thinking about doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll probably do it next week.
Okay. Well, I like this before we get to the next super chat, just briefly, because somebody lives by your mantra.
Better live rich than die rich?
No, don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
Yep.
It never works that way. It's worked out for him way too many times. I personally feel too guilty.
Yeah, but I always tell you, is like, do whatever you want.
I know, but I still can't. I just feel too guilty. You know, it's like just talking to you about thinking about getting that tattoo with our daughter on Monday. I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend the money. You know? I mean,
it's going to be like a $20 tattoo, $50 tattoo.
No, it's probably going to be like $100.
Okay, so whatever.
But plus tip.
Yeah.
So.
Just a tip.
Wrong you channel. But you know, I just end up feeling too guilty. I don't know what it is about me. You know, I don't make my own money, so I guess it, you know, I don't know. I'm weird.
You're weird. You are.
Okay, so
that's all right.
We have
you got CS on there.
CSI.
So CSI Carry Studios International. If that's
Thanks
your
for the
channel, go follow. Appreciate you.
And then Kyle, I owe $23.5 on my current tracks red line edition. Ooh, I love the red lines. The KBB trade in is around 14 to 15 and a half. How hard would it be to get as close to the amount I owe if I wanted to trade it in for a new vehicle?
Just had this conversation yesterday with my youngest. She saw, she Trailblazer. She was looking at Trailblazer, and she's like, she said, how much does a Trailblazer cost? So I instantly shot her over how much is a Trailblazer video, and she goes, oh my gosh. She goes,
she's like, I am not watching that.
Yeah, you just sent me one of your videos. But she watched it, and she's like, oh, a $413 payment, sweet. I said yes, but you got to realize that's the base payment on all those. That's not something loaded up, stuff like that. So to answer your question, you're never going to get the 23.5 from trade-in value or stuff like that. So at 14 to 15.5 is what Kelley Blue Book is showing. Okay, sounds about right. 20. You didn't tell me what year it was. But if that's what it's showing, that's pretty right. But you got to look at it that you'll probably not get more than 19 for it retail. If that's the case, maybe 18, maybe it's a 17.9 car. So someone asked earlier in the broadcast about rolling over negative equity. I'm never a fan of rolling negative equity over. This is a car salesman, right? I'm telling you as a car salesman not to roll negative equity over. And I just had a customer like hate on me because I gave them this advice and they didn't like it, and they came back and they bought a car anyway still. And they bought it from another salesman and whatnot because they didn't want to take my advice.
You forgot your job.
So I did, correct.
Your job is to sell a car.
Yes, correct. I was thinking financially how to help them, and they didn't like that answer. They wanted the answers like, what can I get?
They wanted to buy a car.
Yes, correct. So my fault. I and it's a good reminder of why the way the car business is. If I don't take your money, the next person will. And that's exactly what happened. And that's my fault. So, but I was trying to help. But my personal opinion, financial opinion is keep paying it and do everything you can to pay that down. So that way you get that payoff down and just go into it. Cars are not forever, right? So a Trax Redline is a really awesome, fun vehicle. I know there's a lot of new technology out there in the Trailblazer and stuff like that, but I'm telling you, if you pay it down, you'll be more happier when you walk in and you keep your payment relatively the same and not go into an 84, 90-month loan, stuff like that.
Okay, let's go on to
Cassie.
I'm not exactly
Cassie.
sure.
There's no
Hopefully
E
we're
at the end.
not.
Cassie Bodine, our non-stock paint colors, dollars. Hubs told me I was crazy when I told him he wanted to. Hubs told me I was crazy when I told him he may have to go to Kentucky from Texas to buy a Scat Pack next year. So, no, non-stock paint colors. I mean, I'm thinking like you want, the blue color and they don't have it in stock. I mean, you can order anything from the factory. It's really simple to order. You can order it from your local dealer if they're willing to give you a good deal. Obviously, you can call me. I don't like really dealing with Chrysler that much, so I'm not too advantageous into doing those, but it is what it is. But no, it's unless it's a premium paint color that the manufacturer charges an extra $500,000-$600,000 on, then it's not that big of a deal. So do whatever you want. Do what works best for you financially. What do you think?
Yeah. I was distracted by Cliff Bradley. He goes, "But Mike, you posted a video saying you wanted the Hummer Electric."
I did. Yes, correct. And it's changed since I've seen it.
Well, what he wants never matters because Mama gets the next car. I've already told him he is not allowed to buy another car until I get my car.
Yeah, because I listen to you. What?
I know you don't. But you will be buying me a car first.
How are you going to pay for it? You got to get a job.
No, that's what you are for.
You just walked out on your last job. You haven't been back.
No, you made me the producer of all your YouTube videos
right.
now. So, I have a higher paying job. And let's go back to our super chats. Michael says, foam chemical shortages going to be the next microchip shortage in the market for cars, since that stuff is used in everything in cars, low ISO and poly.
So you want to know what's really interesting is we have UPS here, and I know a lot of people at UPS, and I know some high influence people with UPS.
You act like I don't know that there's a UPS here.
No, I'm talking to.
Oh, you're talking to the world.
Yes. So a big thing that's shortage is plain de-icer. So same chemical that's in hand sanitizer is used in plain de-icer. I don't know what chemical it is. I didn't get into those details, but UPS has got big problems getting plain de-icer. So it's slowed down because I asked this person I sold a car to, and I was like, man, that was a crazy night, right? My daughter said that there was ice everywhere and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, the de-icing stuff is a big issue. So it's kind of interesting. I think we're going to have a lot of shortages and everything. It seems like you just never know.
Probably. I mean, people were shut down, and, unless your product was essential.
Yeah.
People weren't working. But
yeah. So JJ asks, is credit beneficial for both the buyer and the cosigner, or just the cosigner? So it all matters. So if you've got say like I co-sign for my kids. Okay. So I've got an 800 credit score. My kids have got a 0 credit score and no income and nothing. They're 18 and a bum, right? Let's use it to that. Oh wait,
I'd like to know where this 18-year-old is, because
right. We don't have any, right? So
you have a kid with another woman that I don't know about.
So let's use that analogy. So my credit and everything would be perfectly fine for that situation. It wouldn't be, the co-signer wouldn't matter. But let's say you have the co-signer, let's say it doesn't really matter where they are. The co-signer really isn't a co-signer anymore. It could be first, it could be second. So say you have someone who is got the best credit score, and the person that doesn't have the best credit score has got negatives on their credit report, or maybe a repo or something like that. It's gonna turn into something to affect that interest rate and everything, because the banks are going to question it. If you are at different addresses, certain banks will be like, they have to qualify separately. Other banks don't care about the address. So everything is different, and it's all on a case-by-case basis. It's all about the bank's internal policy of how they underwrite car loans, and it's all about their algorithm, how they look at things. So the best advice that I can give is, if you are not a good credit candidate for whatever reason, good, bad, no credit because you're young, find the best co-signer you can and have the most money down you can, because then it all becomes blind. And don't walk in and get that $70,000 Duramax diesel when you're like, this is what I want. It's $1,000 a month. I make $1,500 a month. I can afford it. I'm just going to forget everything else and do that. The banks aren't going to give you that at all. So you have to just kind of go with that mindset as well, that you have to go in with their lines of underwriting guidelines. That's what I'm trying to say. Their underwriting guidelines.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to one bit you just said.
I know, you're on your phone.
Yeah, our daughter was texting. Oh. Our other daughter, the 22-year-old.
Oh, okay.
But let's go on to
J-Bell.
Yep.
J-Bell says, speaking of nostalgia.
Hey,
okay.
Can you stop talking for 1 minute?
All right, done.
I mean, please.
I can mute you. Muted. I just mute you. It's that simple. Okay, you're unmuted.
Oh, I can talk again?
Yes.
Speaking of nostalgia, I really want to get a late 80s, 90s Silverado 4x4 extended cab or a Blazer. Suggestions on where to look, not FB Marketplace.
So when you get with those older vehicles, I think that is a good place to look, but you just need to go out to specialty things. I think you need to get in Facebook groups, but everybody is going to be in a Facebook group is going to sit there and like they want the moon. If you look at car dealerships that specialize in these older vehicles, they're going to want the moon. If I sold my K1500, I wouldn't take a penny less than 10,000. I might probably not go 11 or 12. So, and you're looking at a 95 Silverado for $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, so like, I think you just need to look on the websites like Auto Trader and Car Gurus and just start looking for them. And if you want something that's a project car, perfect. But I would get in Facebook groups and look around and see what they got. But I think Marketplace and Craigslist are good places for those too, because you just never know what you're going to find.
I mean, Craigslist is a little sketchy.
It is. Craigslist is sketchy
really,
for sure.
I don't know if I would be looking there personally. But,
a lot of scams there for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to, sometimes find that older stuff. And like Mike said, a lot of times people want the moon. Of course, everybody wants the moon for their vehicle that they're trying to sell.
Everybody. That's everybody. The dealers want it, the consumers want it. You want the moon, and that's fine. That's not a big deal. So it's just a matter of finding the right buyer or finding the right, right vehicle to buy and stuff like that.
But speaking of the K1500, this was put in the chat earlier asking when you are giving it away.
TBD. We're going to talk about it. So said 500,000 subs on YouTube on here. So we're we're approaching. We're getting there. So, but I got a different plan. I'm gonna keep everybody engaged. But there's a lot of legalities into giving things away, right? It's stupid. You got 1099s, you got taxes, you got gifts, you got all this goofy thing. So I have a third-party company that I use to do this, but and that costs a lot of money too. That's like, if I give this vehicle away, it's like $3,000 for me to like give it away to somebody. So there's a lot to go on there. What do you see? What are you laughing about?
Oh, it's a comment that was held for review.
Oh, I saw
It
that.
said Mike cringing when she said, "Buy me a car," and basically he said, "Get a job, ho."
Yeah, good job, ho. I like that.
But no, I saw somebody also comment. It's like, "Oh, you're not answering anything in the chats unless it's a super chat." Unfortunately, or I should say, fortunately, we've had a lot of super chats tonight that by the time we get to finishing a question, another super chat comes in. So we apologize if we don't get to your question. We do have to acknowledge these super chats as they come in, which, yes, sir, 5075. Thank you for the $5.
Canadian. That's like $2.50 here.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking.
I don't even care.
I don't know either. So
$5. $5 make you holler.
Yeah. My buddy up there that I know has got a lot of Corvettes. He always jokes that I should go up there and buy something. So
AC, who's on a lot of our live streams, which we appreciate. He asked how our boy's doing.
Oh, he's doing perfect.
Yeah.
No problems, right?
He's enjoying himself.
Yep.
I have not heard any complaints or anything. He just, is going to work. And I think the only thing that probably he would complain about is he may not have his birthday off this year. And he only gets like one weekend every 3 weeks off, which, for him, that's about the only time he sees his girlfriend.
Yep.
Or fiance, I should say.
And so for the people who don't know, you see Mrs. Chevy Dude wearing a thin blue line. Our son is a police officer in a major metro area that we keep private. We just don't want, if I do something that somebody doesn't like, we're just not letting trolls get to them. But so, he's a police officer, and he started in right after all the riots and all that stuff. So luckily he went through the academy, and he's in his second month of FTO training. So he's doing good. So he's going through the wintertime a little bit slower, as most of the country's, cold and stuff like that. So he had a warm day, and he's like, yeah, we did a little bit more work today, and he hadn't experienced that. I think he's experienced a lot of downtime. So
yeah. Thanks for the $10, Brent. And did you see, how much time did you spend on that live stream you had me go on the other day?
Not much.
Not much.
Because I got busy.
They had the cutest thing. A little puppy dog would come up and say super chat and thank you or whatever. We need to do something like that.
We can do that. So I just they're using a different software service. No. They're using Ecamm Live. They're using what I have. So I just need to get with them. Cause she's in the new program. So, and they're the ones. So there's a company called Livestream Pros. They're a fantastic live stream company, and they're the ones who, like, I watched a year and a half ago, is like how to get all of this stuff set up. I had the camera on you, so I got all of this stuff set up, and I didn't spare any expense. So it's kind of tough to see, but this board right here was like $1,000. These microphones were like $500, $450 or something like that. These things were only like $100, which I overpaid for those. So, but I saw someone Amazon for like $10. I'm like, what? $10? I paid $100 for these things.
I'm so glad tonight when we were looking at stuff, I made you go search a little harder to get cheaper.
Sure, yeah, for filters.
Because it's like, man,
I don't ever look
you
around.
like to overpay.
I do. I overpay.
Natalie Ann, thank you for the $5.
So,
and Ernie,
yes.
It says, I'm trying to purchase either a Chevy Colorado Z71 or a GMC Canyon Denali. I plan on putting $8,000 down. What's the best time of the year
to buy? Yep. So I always say this. So consistently over time, the deals are the same. So it doesn't matter if we have President's Day sale or Labor Day sale or truck month or end of year sale or whatever the case may be. When you look backwards, employee pricing for everyone, right? That's a big one. So we had employee pricing for everyone in December, and then January the deals were better. So just to kind of give you an idea. So everything's pretty common throughout the year. So the harder times to buy cars is the end of the year. So say you want a 20 car instead of a 21, like back in November, December, October, scarcity becomes a play because those 20s are kind of outgoing and the 21s don't have the big rebates yet. So you kind of want to play that. But the summer months are always the best. January, February, March are always the best. But it's every month is about the same. It's just a matter of what inventory levels are. In Colorado's and GMC's, Canyons are tough to get a hold of right now. There's everything's super tough to get a hold of. So it's just going to take a little bit more work to find it. And my best advice is to contact the dealership that you want to work with that has the vehicle. And secondly, if you want to order one, which would be Chevy, not GMC, just contact your boy and I'll sell it at a fair price. I'm not sure what we're doing on Colorado's, if we're at invoice or just a little over invoice because of supply and demand. But you can come to the dealership and pick it up. I can drop ship it, whatever the case may be. So very simple. Very simple.
Okay, let's go on to Jose's. See if we can get through some of these so we can actually answer some other questions that keep popping up.
Natalie, did you say hi to Natalie?
Yes.
She's a manager at a Minnesota dealership up in Minnesota.
Oh my goodness, hon.
We've
speechless
never met, but we've been like online friends for 6, 7, 8 years probably. So she's like early, like OG, like followed me.
And you've allowed her to be a Facebook friend.
Yeah. Haven't deleted her.
Okay. Moving on.
Going to Jose, right?
Yes. Go ahead. You read it.
No, you read it.
Oh, I get to read it.
You read it.
How do you decide how much can you afford for a vehicle, whether you're leasing or financing? I am looking into a new 21 Corolla for affordability.
So the good rule of thumb is the payment should not be more than 15% of your gross income. I think you should be at 15% of your net income. And then there's what's that rule called? There's people out there who do the 80-20-10 rule or something like that. I can't remember the whole rule, but
the Mike Davenport rule.
Yeah, no, it's not my rule. I didn't bring it up. So because if I taught people that, nobody would ever buy a car. So but I agree in that rule. But so I think it's the 80, what is it? 80-20-20-10 4 rule, something like that. No more than a 4-year payment, 20% down, 10% of your income or something like that.
Yeah, you were going to do that in one video and then we scrapped it.
Yep, scrapped it. So, but that's a good rule. So when you look out there, how much can you afford? Like you just got to look at it and like no more than 15% of your payment of your income and just take it out and do it. So, but a Corolla, you should be good unless you're making like $2,500 a month. You should be 50-30-20 rule. I don't think that's the rule, but that's close. That's cool. That's close. Fire Ants Blazing said that. So, but no, that's just do something that's affordable and no more than 15%. I think that's the number. I think that's the rule.
Okay.
Stephen Rapp.
He's giving you some extra money.
He must be bored in Illinois.
He was giving you some extra money so you could have a Tomahawk.
Oh yeah, I love the Tomahawks.
We actually have about four.
We have 4 left.
Sitting in our freezer right now because my brother works for a butcher shop, and they had a bunch.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Christmas time.
We were there for Thanksgiving, and he's like, "Yeah, I can get you tomahawks," and they're just Black Angus steak tomahawks. I'd rather get the Wagyu tomahawks, but never cooked them, and they're good. They're good meat, so it's just something different.
Well, we like to smoke them.
Yeah, we smoke.
We throw them on our Traeger and smoke them, and I do not like a fatty steak.
And $25 is about good for one tomahawk. So thanks.
I don't like a fatty steak, but smoking the tomahawk has turned out really good, and I actually will eat it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm normally very picky. A filet is the only steak I eat.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we have a couple T-bones in the freezer that, still have not been ate.
Oh, Valley Dude, thanks, man. Our son appreciates that. I'm going to give him that money too. So Valley Dude said, this is for your son because I think he's a vet. Yes, he was Marine for 4 years, and he also had a Ford Mustang. So, back to the earlier one about affordability, right? So I've, back then I was nobody, right? I don't even think I had 15,000 followers on social media, right? People in the car business thought I was a big deal, but overall, and I'm not a big deal today either, but.
Are you sure that head's getting a little big right now? I mean, you're on screen and I just see it blowing up.
Yeah. Here, let me get the camera to go back. But so like I had this online presence and I had my son buy a Ford Mustang. So Camaros just weren't affordable for him yet. I didn't feel comfortable letting him spend $5,000 more, which would have been $100 more a month on a payment to get him a Mustang or get him a Camaro. So that way, he had a Camaro to drive. So,
and he was very budget conscious,
and he still is today.
And so all he cared about really was having a V8. And
Right.
The same thing happened when he had to trade that Mustang in and get a new car. All he cared about was a V8 and whether or not it was going to be affordable to him. And I mean, his new car payment about killed him, but it still was very feasible for him.
Yeah. So James says, I'm his hero. So there's this, my head is getting a little bit bigger now. So, and
I didn't even see that.
It was right under the super chat. That's the only reason I saw it under Valley Dude's super chat. And he says, in supporting getting his 2021 C8 Soul Performance. Yes. Soul Performance.
Yes.
I'm going to screenshot that and send it to Soul. So
we do like the Soul Performance. It took me a little while. I was not a fan of it when it first went on, but I like it.
Yep.
The dog's scared of it.
Yeah.
It's so funny when he comes home. Tonight he revved the engine, and our brindle boxer Corey, she hightails it into the house or up to the door or wherever so she can get as far away from the car as possible. And he continued to pull the car in, and it wasn't until he shut the car off would she go running up to his door to see him. And every morning she does the same thing. As soon as she sees him put his shoes on and walk towards that car, she's in the house. She hates that.
Yeah, she does. But it's super loud, and she's a sissy. So Derek says, have about $6,000 to put down, budget $12,000. My girlfriend is preggo. She's trying to find something, trying to find something bigger. Eventually,
currently in a two-door Civic.
I can't.
You
read.
can't. No.
What is going on with me?
What are your suggestions?
I don't even know the question.
Oh my goodness! I'm sorry to everyone on this stream.
Saturday.
I really think he had.
This must be vodka or
something. I mean, I don't know.
I can't. I
don't know what's up with you tonight.
I don't know. I just can't read. I don't know what is this.
I slept with my contacts in last night because I was a little tipsy.
I don't know. So Derek has got $6,000, $12,000 budget. Girlfriend's preggo. So it's trying to find
definitely
something
need a 4-door car.
Currently in a 2-door Civic. Any suggestions? So, biggest thing is there a payoff on the Civic? That'd be the biggest question to understand and know. If there's no payoff, then $12,000 is going to be a tough vehicle to get. So I just had this conversation with somebody on the lot today that was not my customer. They brought it up, and I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I guess the question has to be, though, is the budget $12,000 with the $6,000 down? Like, is it $12,000 plus $6,000, or is it you're looking for a $12,000 car and you're putting 50% down?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. And he's looking for a $12,000 car and putting 50% down. So to a $12,000 car, just kind of give you an idea of a $12,000 car, you're looking at 80,000 miles. So if you budget that up a little bit with that same $6,000 down, and go to a $15,000 to $18,000 car, you're going to find a car with 30,000 miles. So a little bit more, and you get a whole lot more. So, but if you need to stick to that $12,000, I'm letting you know what the market is. That's not always set in stone. This is generally speaking. that $12,000 car, 70, 80,000 miles, a little bit older maybe. Maybe if you looked at something that was like 2010, 2011. No, not that old. Not the old. Just 21. Yeah, 2017, 2016, something right there, maybe 15. You can find something that is going to be fine. Maybe you can find that cream puff out there, but 12,000 is really, really tough to get nowadays. I just had this conversation. Someone came into the dealership and they wanted to spend a whole lot less, but they had to keep upping their budget because they couldn't find something nice. And they found our Nissan Rogue, and it was $12,000. And they're like, we just need to buy it. It's super low miles. So yeah, so look for like a mid-sized car, like a Chevy Malibu, Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, something like that, and keep in your budget, and it'll be fine. SUVs, everybody wants SUVs now, but SUVs are expensive. A 2 to 3 year old Chevy Equinox with 30,000 miles, 40,000 miles, you're gonna be $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 now. So that's where you're going to be at on those vehicles. And that's going to be across the line. Ford Escape, Ford Edge, they're all going to be high dollar.
And the thing people forget, a car is just fine for a baby.
Yep.
I had a 2-door Toyota Tercel when I had our son, and I managed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, I think we had all 3 kids before we had a 4-door car.
Yeah. So our Dylan 517 said 10-year-old Suburban or Tahoe. A 10-year-old Suburban or Tahoe is probably going to still bring mid-20s. $23,000, $24,000, $25,000, $26,000. So I just had a 2011, yes, 10-year-old car, 2011 Silverado crew cab, 4-wheel drive, 150,000 miles, $26,000. It's absolutely insane. The market is absolutely crazy right now. Nope, I still had it on you. I was talking, but I had it on you.
Well, then people just got to watch me read.
Who are we on to, Adam?
Adam says, what's better for rebuilding credit, paying off a loan 36 months early or refinancing to a better interest rate? I have a 631 FICO.
So refinancing isn't going to help you rebuild credit. So paying that down is going to save you money and pay it off quicker. So don't refinance so pay it off. Don't refinance it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go in and refinance it, and they're going to be like, you can do 60 months again. And you're going to be like, oh, I like that 60-month payment, but you've already paid 36 months. So that 60-month payment, you've just paid half of it, and then you're going to add half of it back. So you're going to be at 60 months again. So you're going to be like a 90-month loan.
I'm laughing at some of these side comments. You got called bougie.
I saw that.
That was funny.
Cliff wrote that. I did see that.
And then Lou's like, too many margaritas. I had too many margaritas last night. Twice in 1 week. That's a lot for me.
Oh yeah, we did have margaritas.
Because we had margaritas Wednesday night, and then I had margaritas again last night. Oh, yep. I have no interest in alcohol.
Too much sugar.
Yes, it is.
Rick LP, go ahead. You read it. I can't read tonight.
Yes, I have a 2019 Camaro ZL1 1LE Black mint with 3,500 miles. I'm thinking of trading it in for a GMC
AT4.
AT4. I have never heard of that.
It's the LC Trail Boss. It's a Z71 basically.
Oh,
so
okay.
if it's a half ton,
Duramax.
Yeah, if it's a half, you can get a Duramax 3.0 in the LT Trail Boss, but AT4 could also be a 2,500 GMC.
And trade-in value.
So it's probably this is a 2019.
A 19 ZL1 1LE.
55,000.
That's not a bad price.
No, there's 75,000 new.
Yeah.
Around 55. I'm not looking at the market or anything, but that's just off the top of my head. So if you've looked at the market and you're like, well, I got it 60,000, right? Don't roast me over it. I'm just going off the top of my head. But yeah, that's probably somewhere in that mid 50 range. Automatic transmission. Did we get automatic in 19? Was that 20? 20 was automatic, I think. So Bruce Myers says, hey, I just bought a 2021 Z71 Tahoe in Virginia Beach with 63,000 good for it. A 2021 Tahoe Z71. Yeah, $63,000 is a really good price for that. So yeah, good job, Bryce. Is it worth getting a car? Walter says, is it worth getting a car that still has money owed on a private party? How does that process work? Okay, so this is a really good question. So the big thing you got to worry about on a private party is making sure that you get the title. So if you're in Kentucky, the person who has a loan on it actually holds the title. So say in Indiana, which most states are this way, the bank holds the title. So if they have a local bank branch that you can go to that bank branch and pay it off. Have them pay it off with the money that they give you. Because the last thing that you want is to give them $20,000 and they owe $20,000, but they take that $20,000 and they go spend it somewhere else and they can't pay off the car that you now have. And they don't pay their payments and they gets repoed. It means you get repoed. If you go watch my friend Dirty Max Jack, he just got a car repoed that he paid cash for. So, and it was a very similar situation. So, but yeah, so do your due diligence to make sure that it does get paid off and go to the local branch. If they're working with like a local bank, that's even better. But so how a dealership does this is we have a letter signed, hey, I'm paying this off. Please send the title to this address. And they'll do that. And you can go on the internet and get a motor vehicle power of attorney for your state that you're going to be titling it in, and you can have them sign that and get it done. You want to do that in front of a notary, by the way. And then for due diligence, say, my dealership's in Kentucky and I actually live in Indiana. You can get a Kentucky power of attorney signed and get an Indiana power of attorney signed to make sure that you get things done. But the most important thing, I know zero consumers do this, is get a motor vehicle power of attorney signed by the private citizen that they're buying it from. Because when you get a power of attorney signed on a motor vehicle, and this is only good for a motor vehicle, right? You can't say, hey, they're going to give me $20,000 cash now because I have a power of attorney, right? That's not going to happen. You can't go sign a car loan based off their power of attorney. It's strictly for motor vehicle purposes. When they sign that, that means you can do anything on their behalf to get that title done correctly. So if there's a mistake, you can sign a affidavit for them. You can do everything for them, but get a power of attorney signed and do 2 copies of each. So if you got to go to different states, get 2 of each. It's worth the extra effort.
Okay. Michael Hoff said, where can I email or get a hold of you to help me get a car? I'm from Indiana. Just go to ChevyDude.com. And there are places on there to contact Mike. Yep,
you can just schedule a time, and I'll call you. That's the best way to do it. So I've had to, I don't want to do this, but again, having all the social media presence, I have 12-year-old kids that call me. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe you answered, and it's like, and I'm not rude to them, but I'm like, hey man, I can't talk. I'm really busy. Appreciate you, but I got to go. So I've had to get my cell phone number off the internet, and I'll never change my cell phone number because I've had the cell phone number since 1996. But so I've kind of tried to make sure that someone who wants to purchase from me and buy from me, that we can still get in contact. So yeah, if you just go to ChevyDude.com, there's a contact Mike button on there. It goes right to my calendar. You put your name and phone number in there, and I call you 99.9% of the time. I call you right on the dot. There's a couple times that people are long-winded and they get, I try to only schedule 10 and 15 minute phone calls, and I make 200 phone calls a day. So it's brutal.
Yeah. And I don't know if Sean's asked this a couple times or if I've just seen it a couple times, but he says, why do some dealers not combine employee discount with dealer discounts? Only one or the other in my area.
Okay. So, that's a little confusing of what employee discount and what was it? Employee
dealer discount.
And dealer discount. So there's no such thing as if you're getting an employee discount that you get a dealer discount. So, and this was one of the first questions, and I apologize if he's not on here, but someone asked, I saw this question come up, and someone asked about explaining manufacturer employee discounts, supplier discounts, stuff like that. So with General Motors, with Chrysler, with Volkswagen, I know these for sure because I've done employee discounts on all of these manufacturers. Ford, A plan, Z plan, Y plan. I know Ford. So when you qualify for a discount, employee, supplier, first responder, nurses and doctors right now, what do they call it? Medical something. You have one set price that you get. There's no negotiating. It's one set price. And providing that you do qualify for that, you can go in and say, hey, listen, I qualify for an employee program. And you typically know what those employees are called. So I'm going to make this up, but let's say General Motors employee program is called ISS, right? So say you say, hey, I qualify for ISS or ISS discount. They're going to know what that means. And they just do it, right? You have to have a PIN number, stuff like that. You don't need to have that PIN number up front to do it. They're just making sure that, if you don't have that PIN number, you're not going to get that discount. So that's why you don't see employee discounts or manufacturer discounts and a dealer's discount, because it's just one discount and it oversees everything. So say the dealership is discounting a car for $5,000, but the employee price is only $4,000, then you wouldn't do your employee deal. You do the $5,000 on that, because a lot of manufacturers regulate that. Okay, if the employee price is $4,000 and we use this PIN number, we can't discount more than that. Sometimes they can, so it varies. But yeah, if you qualify for employee, supplier, or any other discounts that are governed by the manufacturer, it's just one price and it's really simple, and they can't really play any games. They can't give anything away for free. They can't do a lower price. It's all one set price. Makes it simple.
But at the same time, manufacturer rebates, a lot of times you still qualify for, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just basically, what's a dealer's just giving to you that they may not be willing to give to you when you qualify for those programs.
Yep, that's absolutely right. So Chris wrote on here, dealers will typically make money on financing a number of ways. Most banks will offer a dealer a spiff for financing, or like in Pennsylvania, you may get approved for 3.99 rate, but the dealer is permitted to quote you and sell you a vehicle at 5.99, in which case the dealer makes a portion of the percentage markup. So this is true. The dealerships can get a lower rate and mark that up, but I don't know the person's name. I read an article in a dealer magazine, and the dealer magazine was saying that Joe Biden's consumer protection agency head of chief is anti-dealer, and that they're going to maybe put some more red tape or strings attached to dealers to regulate them more. This is not good for consumers. This is actually bad. But one of the things that they talked about is this topic right here of marking up the rate. So this is something that's been changed over the last 10 years, 11 years plus, that a lot of the banks are not allowing dealers to mark up rates, and they're just paying them a flat percentage. So this is why like dealers will go on and say, hey, listen, if you give us an opportunity to earn your financing, we'll do this deal on this new car, used car, whatever. So because they're getting a percentage of the amount financed. So if you're financing $50,000 and that dealership gets 5% reserve, then that's a big payday for them. And it doesn't cost you any money, right? It just writes with that dealership. The issue comes in play is, let's say Bank A pays 1% and you could have got a 3.99 rate, but Bank B pays the dealership 5%, but you would have had a 4.49 rate. The dealership is going to sell you on that 4.49 rate so that they can get the 5% over whatever I just said here. I don't remember what I just said over here, but they'll use that bank with a higher rate so that they get paid more, and they don't mark it up. That's what they get. That's what their call is from the bank. So that's what we're experiencing now. And the difference between a 3.99 rate and a 4.49 rate is pennies per month, right? And if you pay one extra payment per year, now the interest rate doesn't matter because you're on simple interest. But so that's what's going on with a lot of that stuff, with the bank stuff, and it doesn't really matter. Or it does matter. I shouldn't say it that way, but a lot of times it's the convenience too, because what people don't see or know is when you get outside financing, the dealership has to give you a letter of credit or a bill of sale. And now dealerships aren't taking letter of credits. My dealership does not take a letter of credit at all, because a letter of credit is an IOU to the dealership saying, hey, once you get the titling stuff done, we'll pay you your money. Well, with COVID, title stuff has been going a lot slower. So the dealership is not going to let you go out on a $10, $15, $20, $50, $70,000 car with an IOU. You can't walk into Walmart and get a Coke on an IOU. What makes you think you can get a car on an IOU? So those banks are playing games. So the dealerships are like, we need a certified check. And there's stuff like that. So that's kind of like it in a nutshell. And I mentioned $50,000, and somebody mentioned earlier on there's like, what's a $50,000 loan cost? So a $50,000 loan on 60 months. I'm going to do this here.
Well,
real
why
quick.
don't you just talk about your rule of thumb?
Well, I'm going to. So a rule of thumb is
I was feeling
20
a little
quiet,
left out, whatever, because you were just rambling on.
Right. So a good rule of thumb is whatever the price of car you're looking at, times it by 2. So if you're looking at a $30,000 car, take that 30 times it by 2. That's a $600 payment. So if you're looking at a $50,000 car, that's going to be a $1,000 payment. So on a $50,000 car, and I'm going to use Kentucky, on a $50,000 car, you're $50,000, 6% sales tax plus $427 in fees. That's $53,427. So if you go over to Google Calculator, 427, and you use 4% interest rate on 60 months, you're not going to be able to see it. It's a $984 payment. So would you rather think or go into a dealership expecting a much lower payment and the dealership hits you with a high payment, or going in and saying, hey, listen, I'm budgeting $1,000, but it's $984. Boom. Right. So this is a good rule of thumb for 20 years that I've been using on it. And it's dead untrue. So use that rule of thumb, $20 for every $1,000 you finance, or the car that you're looking at, not that you finance, but the car that you look at. $35,000 car, $700 a month payment. $30,000 car, 60 months, $600 a month.
You can't talk.
I can't. So that's a good rule of thumb. So on a $50,000 car at a 4% interest rate on 60 months, you're looking at $921. If you go out to 72 months, which you're typically going up in rate, so we're going to go 4.5%, you're looking at $794. So that's what a $50,000 car loan is going to cost you, is right around $800 a month.
Okay, let's move on to, we got a super chat, and then I seen a couple conversations going on that I want to actually get to.
Perfect.
2020, my business took a hit. I had a repo. Could I trade in my other truck, which I'm about 15 under? Is there hope a dealer can help?
So when you say 15 under, that makes me think you have 15,000 equity. But with the way you said that, it means that you have 15,000 negative equity. 15K underwater would be the terminology that comes to mind real quick. So put it in the comments. No super chat. Just put it in the comments. And we'll answer that. So the
your auto advocate's on here.
Oh, hey guys, how are you?
They said, teach us how to live stream.
It's all about internet connection. I'm teaching people how to sell cars or buy cars. I'm not teaching how to live stream here.
We've already had trouble tonight.
We did have a little trouble, which is shocking. So
back to this truck that's, I haven't seen if they've answered your question.
So yeah, if he answers it, so I'll answer it this way. So if he does have $15,000 positive equity, that's really good. So what you need to do is go in and probably get $25,000 CarMax, possibly go to a $30,000 car, but $25,000 car, and that'll help you out.
$15K above what it's going for.
Still don't understand. 15K above. So do you have $15,000 of positive equity or $15,000 of negative equity? That's the key.
I'm taking it as negative.
So if it's positive equity, you're in a good position. If you have 15,000 negative equity, you're nowhere near going to get a car loan. with having a recent repo. So, and the reason I say that is because you're a huge risk, right? So having a recent repo. So the key is to continue to pay this truck off, and that's going to help your credit shoot back up and make that hiccup go away.
And Steven Rapp.
Yes.
This is like, he just bought that RST and he wants to know when it's the best time to trade it in.
Oh, let's just trade it in tomorrow. Come on.
No, he said before or after the warranty is up. Is it better to trade before the warranty's up or after? Or does it matter? So
it really doesn't matter, because especially on a Tahoe and Suburban, because privately owned Tahoes and Suburbans, especially like the one you traded in, he traded in a 2016 with 20 something odd thousand miles. And like that truck, I've already got a lot of hits on it, but we gotta fix the bumper on it. But that vehicle will sell quick because of the low mileage. So Tahoes and Suburbans that are privately owned with good mileage and good options, those are so hard to come by, and they'll hold their values forever. A lot of the Tahoes and Suburbans that you see out there that are 1 year old or same model year old, those are from rental car companies, and they're going to be an LT version with possibly sometimes a sunroof and no other options outside of navigation. Navigation and sunroof are about your only options you're seeing. So with that being said, if you can get a High Country or a RST or an LTZ or a Premier, I guess I went old school by saying LTZ, but a Premier, those things are going to hold their value, and you could trade it in 10 years with 50,000 miles, and that thing's going to bring a ton of money. And I wouldn't even worry about it, because the reason why Tahoes and Suburbans are holding their values is because you experienced this. This was a $69,000 truck. That's cheap for a Suburban now. You know, our High Countries are hitting $80,000, $85,000, and you're not getting a discount on those because of the way the market is. So someone who's spending $80,000, $85,000, they're going to keep that for a long time. Traditionally speaking, people who are buying Tahoes and Suburbans are fairly affluent, but they're also soccer moms, soccer kids, whatever you want to call it, soccer dads, and they're using those to drive the kids around to practices or trips or whatever the case may be, and they hold those on to 300,000 miles because they want to get their $80,000 out of it. So with that being said, we see those high mileage trucks come in that makes these more scarce, and your 30,000 mile vehicle is going to be through the roof as far as value goes.
Okay, let's get to a couple questions that you can answer without a long-winded response.
That's impossible.
Yes, it is possible. Are you taking C8 Z06 deposits?
So
the answer is
no.
Exactly.
But I can't do it. I can't do it. So
I do it for you.
Okay.
The answer is no, because we have too many people currently, and the lead time is a couple years out on a Z06. Anything else you want to put in there?
This is why you don't want to buy a car from her, because she has no idea what she's talking about. So
hey, I know what I'm talking about.
You do. So I have put on my website, myz06.com, that I'm not taking any more deposits. And so what's happening is I have a C8 list and I have a Z06 list. And I really don't need two lists. I do that for myself to keep my analytical ways organized, because there's no reason for someone who's gotten a Z06 that I need to call on them or text them and say, hey, you ready to put your order in? They're like, no, I want a Z06. So I have that list. Then I have the C8 list right here that these people are wanting their cars yesterday. And so I'm going down through that list and getting their orders put in and stuff like that. So now what's happening, these people who have had their deposits for 12 months, 13 months, 14 months, they're like, I think the Z06 is going to come out soon. I just want to move over to the Z06 list. And I've told everybody from the day one that you get a car based off of when you put your deposit on. The very first person who put their deposit on my list is still on the list for a Z06 and probably is going to move to another car down the road. So I've basically told that. And what I've told people who have called me, and I'm like, you can leave a deposit. I didn't take the ability away to leave a deposit. I just put words up there that says I'm not taking deposits anymore. So with that being said, people are like, I'm telling people you could be 3, 4, 5 years down the road before you get a Z06. And some people are like, That's perfect. Cool. Not a problem. And other people are like, well, I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to give a little bit of, see why you don't want to buy a car from her, because she doesn't know this stuff.
No, you're very long-winded again.
I know, but
you're done answering the question.
But there's a lot of information that I give out that gives backstory to this, and it makes it more. You
like to hear yourself talk.
I can't. Okay, fine. Look, I can't. I can't even hear myself now. See, I'm done. I got.
I can still hear you. So can you answer this question quickly? What is the cost to transport a C8 to California?
$2,300 enclosed.
Wow. Well, yes, the question was enclosed, and I already knew you would assume that. So thank you for answering that question quickly.
I don't ship
anything.
Now,
who do you use to ship, or who do you recommend for transport?
So I pay money to go to a website that finds different transport companies moving all around the country. So right now there is a short supply of transport companies as well, and there's a whole lot of vehicles to move. So I go on what's called Central Dispatch, and I put it out there that I have a 2021 Corvette that I need shipped from Louisville, Kentucky to Los Angeles, and I find someone who's going there, and then I vet them, and I do a few other things behind the scenes to make sure that they're insured, to make sure that they have a good rating, stuff like that, and that way I don't have any issues, because if I have a transport issue, it means you have a transport issue, which means I have more issues with you, and I have to deal with those issues, and I don't want issues.
Okay.
Last hot sauce.
Yes. Any advice with negotiating a 21 Civic Type R Yellow Limited Edition? U.S. only received 600. I feel like the ball is in the dealership's court from that. From what we've been told, Honda doesn't, Honda dealerships don't negotiate.
Yeah, I would.
And they don't have rebates.
So I would look for, what's the one guy's name in Fort Wayne? I'm drawing a blank.
Rick Kruger,
Don Ayers Honda, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Contact him. He may have a resource, but KRUGER. He's been there for 30 years. I mean, he's been at this one dealership forever. He's the guy to call. But I would say yes, the dealership does have the upper hand here because it's such a limited supply, and it's up to you to pay over MSRP or not. 600 cars is really light, but you can always wrap it too. So wrap it yellow. I don't know. I don't know much about that car, so it could be something that it's not good to wrap.
You're getting called bougie again.
Bougie. Bougie steaks.
I guess you are kind of bougie.
I'm not. I'm so low maintenance and low key.
Whatever. Look at all this equipment and everything. You are constantly buying stuff. I mean, we have Amazon coming tomorrow. Amazon will be coming again next week.
Well, that is my weakness. That I like electronics and gadgets, and that's definitely my weakness.
And Fortnite and PlayStation.
But I did good. This is a brand new computer actually here.
I know. He gave me his old computer.
Yes, so
that's the only way I get a computer.
Yes,
I was having problems with mine.
So you can see in the past streams that all these stickers were on my computer, and now I just have 2 Chevy Dude stickers, which you can get at ChevyDudeStore.com. Shameless merch plug. So I just did buy this, but that computer was 4 or 5 years old. So these are like $4,000, and I don't want to spend that type of money.
But I'm the one who needed the new computer.
Yes,
because I was having the problems. And who got the new computer? You.
You got it. It's a new computer to you. I wiped it, and it's brand new. You want me to take the Chevy Dude stickers off of it?
But I get the hand-me-downs.
I don't know what to say about that. There's so many things I could say, but I won't.
Oh my goodness. We have been on for almost 2 hours.
Dealer Advocate. I don't know if they're still in here. He said
Your Auto Advocate.
Yeah, Your Auto Advocate. So they're a good YouTube channel. So Live Streaming Pros, if you're still in here, Live Stream Pros, look them up on YouTube, and they have amazing that's what I used, who I did with everything through, and a company called DVE, Delta Victor Echo, store out in Washington State. They're the ones to use to get all the best streaming equipment. So
okay, we'll try to get through. Matt L said, "Did you replace the C7?" No, that is my car, and I'm not ready to get rid of it. So we have not. I'm having a hard time letting go of the manual transmission.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason we didn't get rid of it was because of the manual.
Yeah, I mean, and I've told him before, if we do ever get rid of it, we're going to end up buying another manual transmission C7.
Yeah, like ZR1. Like we've been thinking
move
about
up,
ZR1. So
move up in horsepower there.
I didn't buy a ZR1 because I thought I've never spent that much money before on a car, and I thought that it would cost me the C8, so I didn't buy a ZR1.
So
still scary. Patrick King asked, would it be better to purchase a Dodge from you or buy it here in Northern California? I really don't like selling the Dodges and stuff like that. So I would say buy it over there, which I hate turn away business, but it's just a simple fact that I just don't have time to go over to our Ram store all the time. It's a pain in the butt, to be honest with you. James P. Super chat. Thank you. 5 Canadian.
I keep losing this comment. AC wanted to know what's the lead time on special ordering a 2500 diesel High Country or Denali.
As long as it's crew cab, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, something like that. So double cab, good luck. I did get one double cab 3500 single wheel picked up. I can't believe this. For one of my top commercial, my top commercial companies, definitely my top commercial company. And they just bought 4 trucks from me last week, and they wanted a single. No, it's a dually double cab, and double cabs are so hard to get a hold of. Psycho asked, "Is it possible for me to buy a $50,000 truck with a $25,000 payment and no credit?" So yes, it's possible, but a lot of factors go into play. So you're gonna have about a 500 to 550 payment. So if you finance 25,000, I would assume that you're probably going to have something like an 8 or 9% rate. So on 60 months, you're going to have a 507 payment at 8% rate. Let's say I'm way off on that and you have a 5% rate, that's 472. And again, I'm way off and you get a 13% rate, that's 569. So you kind of see 569 down to about 480s. So, and then it's going to come into your job, how much money you make per year, per month. And that's going to be the key factors into doing that. But with that much down payment, it'll help you with everything. But your job, how long you've been there, how long you've lived at your residence, your income are all going to be key factors into doing that. If you just graduated college 6 months ago and have a 6-month job time and making $80,000 a year, you still might have an issue. If you've been working at your job for 2 years, and you're making 80 grand and got that 25K down, you might not have an issue at all. So it just varies on each bank. Short enough answer for you?
No, I tuned out.
Oh, geez.
I do that once in a while.
So Matt says, I see Corvette gets a ton of allocations on C8s. Yeah, they do. They're the number one dealership in the country for Corvettes, and they're a fantastic company too. I know those guys really well up there and absolutely love them. Love Dave Salvatore up there. I talk to him every once in a while. But yeah, there's a big dealership but they get a lot of allocations, but they also have a lot of reservations too. So it's not just because they get a lot of allocations that you're going to get a car faster. So you can get a car faster from a smaller dealership. So James asked, I don't get all the fuss of the C8. It's just a car. What's so special about it? So here's what's so special about it. So we've wanted a mid-engine Corvette for 20 years, right? So now that they've done this and they've made a car that goes 2.9 0-60 and for $60,000, really $66,000, that's a big deal. So the next car up that goes 0-60 is about $200,000, $150,000, $200,000. And they're doing exactly the same 0-60. Now, my car, I've gotten on flat surface on a street, 2.6 seconds, 0-60. And multiple other people have gotten that 2.6 as well. So that's pretty impressive time. And with this mid-engine car, and I just saw Cliff write about the ZR1. A ZR1 0-60 with 750 horsepower is 2.9 seconds. So we're taking a 500 horsepower car and doing exactly the same as what a 750 horsepower car is. And it's all about weight distribution, putting it in the back, and this car hooks so hard. So hopefully that answers your question. Kenneth says, hey, Mike, do you ever think the Trail Boss will get a heads-up display? No, unfortunately. I don't think so.
Why not? I mean, why can't...
Do you want me to have a longer answer?
No. I just want to know why GM has not gotten around to putting the same type of like safety equipment on every car. So like, you know, Corvette just finally gets the blind side alerts and, you know, some of the safety features that should have been on the car for a while.
Some of it has to do with technology. So I learned this with our Traverse, that they didn't have some of the safety equipment because all the wiring inside the car was not up to where it needed to be on for the new technology. So basically it'd be like us trying to do dial-up service right now on live stream and not have our 1,000 gigabyte internet service. We couldn't get 1,000 gig out of a phone line. We have to go to a Cat 6e cable, right? So that's basically what it is. So with that being said, that might have been an issue with the C7 because the C7 was never supposed to be here, right? The C8 was supposed to be what the C7 is. But out of the bankruptcy and the economy, they had to do something. So the C8, as we know now, which I knew back then too, but the C8 was started developed when the C7 was released. When it was announced, they were already developing the C8. So that's the main reason why. So,
but I mean, something like a HUD that was on our Pontiac, our 2007 Pontiac. It's not new technology.
No, it's not new technology. But here's where Chevrolet is going. Is when they brought this truck out, they did. I'm trying to remember what it is. They're calling it high feature, high content. What else are they calling it? So they had three things. So they basically did work truck, custom trucks. Then they did the LT, RST, LT Trail Boss, and then they did the high country and LTZ truck. So basically they said, if you want all the high feature content, that's going to be in your LTZ high country. If you want high content, high value, that's what it is. High value, high content, high features. So if you want all the features, you go to those two top luxury trucks. If you want a lot of content for a good value, you go to the LT Trail Boss, RST. If you want high value, then you go to the work truck and the custom Trail Boss and the custom truck. So they're not going to bring, I don't think they're going to bring the HUD in there. However, I didn't know this. I had no idea. This will be in Walk Around Wednesday on this Wednesday. I had no idea that you could get a power up tailgate on an RST truck. So they may bring it. Now that I think about that, they may bring it out. I don't know. But they told us a couple years ago that not to expect it. So that was.
Ted Wilson asked, best two-door. Now I can't talk. Best two-door car to buy in your opinion?
Corvette, Camaro, Fiero. No, I mean, you know, now with having 23,000 miles on my Corvette, I mean, I can't imagine going back. And we talked about this in the past on the Camaro. The Camaro gave me bad back problems. I have not had a back problem with this Corvette in 23,000 miles. And I sat in a Camaro, Gen 6 Camaro the other day, last Saturday actually, and I'm like, oh my God, my back in the seat. It's crazy to think that. So
the Camaro definitely was not comfortable for long trips.
Yep.
And speaking of Camaro, Kyle wanted to know, do you think the Camaro is going to be discontinued after 2022, or will it have a seventh generation?
I don't think the seventh generation is going to be here. But 2023 maybe, 2022 maybe, I don't know. But yeah, no more Camaro after this. So I made a video on this, but I knew back in 2016, right? Yeah, I think it was 16.
Maybe 8.
No,
I don't I don't know what year.
Yeah, I can't give like clues of when we found out because it'll give it away. But 2016, I knew that Al was already out of or going to be out of his position with Camaro, and the Camaro was done. So,
well, I mean, GM's going, and it's put everywhere that GM is going electric.
Right.
So,
which is a mistake, I think.
You know, you might have a electric car that possibly looks like a Camaro. You know, who knows? Because right now, some of their cars, electric cars, are not looking like cars.
Yeah. Lou asked, red mist or torch red? Have you seen red mist in person?
I haven't seen a red mist in person. I've seen it on video, but I am more of a maroon or deep red type of person versus a red. So, I mean, that's why we have Long Beach red. I mean, I've always liked those, that garnet red on that Camaro you took in. Love that color.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I'm red mist. I'm red mist all the way. What do you think about the 2014 GMC Sierra SLE 4x4? Stay away from the 14 model years. 14 model years suck. 15 will be much better, but I refuse to sell anybody a 14 Silverado unless I give them a huge warning of my experiences. If you look at my Yelp page, I don't even want a Yelp page, but I got one. My one negative review on Yelp is about me selling a 2014 Silverado. It was a repurchased unit. I told the guy that it was a repurchased unit. He lies on his review, which is fine by me. But and he said I didn't tell him. But outside of that, I'll never want to sell another one again.
So this has been kind of asked, and we'll get to our super chat in just a second. But somebody asked earlier and about Tesla. Do you think Tesla's gonna keep top dog for electric once all these other companies start rolling out?
No, because Tesla doesn't have the bankroll to do it, you know? So what nobody knows is Tesla recorded that $1.5 billion in profit in the fourth quarter. What people don't know is that $1.5 billion profit was not because they sold cars. That was because they sold energy credits. So Tesla has all these energy credits that they get for not producing ICE engines or ICE cars. So with that being said, they get all these credits and they can sell them on the open market. So someone like Chrysler, Fiat, right? They don't have anything that is remotely nice for fuel economy. They're not trying to do anything for fuel economy. They need to purchase these credits in order to do it. So they buy them from Tesla because Tesla doesn't need them. And Tesla sells them for big money. So, and then what did he do? He went and took that 1.5 billion in profit and put it in Bitcoin. And look what Bitcoin's doing now. So he took 1.5 billion in profit, and I don't know the exact number, but he basically took Bitcoin from $25,000 to 40,000 or 30,000 to 40,000, and now he's got a $10,000 profit on 1.5 billion each Bitcoin. That's a lot of cash. So he ain't stupid. He's very, very smart guy, but he's not smart enough to outweigh General Motors and everybody else.
The main thing I look at is Tesla has been in the game the longest for the EV. So therefore they're going to keep that top spot for a little while. And, you know, it's just easier for Tesla to sit there and keep, I don't even know what to say. He left me all alone to talk to you guys. But basically, Tesla's been in the game the longest. So for a while, their range, their supercharging system, all that type of stuff is going to stay at the top until everybody else can get back up there once they get more and more electric vehicles produced. So thank you. Come back, because
do you run out of things to say?
it actually makes me like more nervous when it is just me sitting here trying to answer a question that I end up forgetting what I'm trying to say.
Now you know how
and then I ramble.
Oh, now it's not so bad, is it?
I didn't say I rant. I ramble. There is a big difference.
So let's go to this one. Sook says, what should I pay for a Camaro ZL1 new 68K MSRP? What's the invoice? So invoice on a Camaro is less than $2,000 difference. Your holdback is about $1,500 or so. So if you get $3,000-$4,000 off on a Camaro right now, you're doing really good with the rebate included. So there's not much in there. And Lucid Motors will be better than Tesla, maybe,
possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, right now, the biggest reason I want another Tesla over buying GM is because I don't like the looks of the GM Bolt or Chevy Bolt.
Yeah.
And so until they put out a car that looks like a car and that I like the looks of, I'm going to stick with what I like. And I mean, I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things with that. I think General Motors is making a mistake on is not getting into the more technology. I think that's why Ram is doing so well. Again, I don't think Ram's that great of a product, but I think Ram is doing so well because they have that big screen and they have a really nice interior, but their quality based off of third-party results are not all that great. So, I think that's one of the mistakes that GM's making, but they'll get there. Brian asks, is there any tips and trading in a lease? So depends on the leasing company, but in a nutshell, what I always tell everybody is you do a lease, you commit to paying 36 payments, 39 payments of whatever you agree to. So it's tough sometimes to get out of a lease, but every lease has a buyout option and a dealer buyout option. So with that being said, it's not always to your favor to do so, but you can get those options and see what they're worth and to just trade it in. You don't get any tax credit when you trade in a lease because you're not paying tax on the car. So you got to remember that as well. So kind of goofy things. How's the fit and finish on the C8 now that they've made a few thousand already? So I haven't seen any issues with the fit and finish. There's no such thing as a perfect car. So every car that comes out of every manufacturer, unless you're paying $1.5 million for a car, even when you go look at a $300,000 McLaren, there's issues on those cars. But no, I think everything's really good. I think the quality's good. The guys down at the Corvette plant try to do really, really good, about everything that they get things going. So I think everything looks good on it, as many as I've seen. Luckily, I haven't had any issues on them, but no, I think everything looks good. Do you recommend, Valent says, do you recommend buying an S10 for a teen that has just started driving? I think an S10 is an awesome truck. What do you think?
I mean, I like the style. I've never driven one.
Do you know what an S10 is?
Yes.
What is the 4-wheel drive version of the GMC Sonoma of that year, of the S10?
You're being crazy right now because I am not a truck girl. Ask your daughter. She might be able to answer you because she loves trucks.
Yeah.
But I am not a truck girl. I can barely get into them, as you guys may have seen on the TRX video. Depends on whether or not you're watching our stuff. But yeah, no.
Best pickup truck in my opinion. So I'm going to be biased and say Chevy, right? I'm always going to say Chevy because I'm biased about that, and I'm not.
I think he put in a super chat earlier that we accidentally missed.
Oh,
that was a 21 Ram or 21 Ford F-150.
Oh yeah. I was going to go back up to that one. So best pickup truck in your opinion is definitely Chevy. But I was going to say, if I had to choose, and this answers your question as well, if I had to choose anything outside of Chevy, it would be Ford. I think Ford.
Oh my God, you heard the Chevy dude say he likes Fords.
So, but
He's a Ford dude now.
But what I don't like about Fords is they use all the V6 turbos, right? I'm maybe old school in that, but I want V8. So, and of course everybody that comes into our store wants a 6.2 liter truck. So James asked, what car is the best in terms of space for 400-pound obese man? Impala, like big cars like that, Chrysler 300, Impala, trucks. You know, I deal with all sorts of people from all walks of life, and I've had a lot of play in this. So I would say, yeah, any type of truck, any type of Impala. What's Ford Taurus? That's like those vehicles. That's probably the best.
The Taurus is still made.
No, but I'm just saying, if you look at the used market, it is.
I mean,
the Impala is not made.
I rarely pay attention to cars out there being made, except for, if I want to buy something.
I'm going to go with Chris's question here. He says, to follow up on Silver Dude's question in regards to dealership price match to make it easier to find, I also sent it to Discord direct message. Excuse me. So maybe I didn't understand that. Maybe I should have read that up front. Do you understand that?
I'm not.
It's the second to last question on there, last message.
No, I see that part, but I don't know where Silver Dude.
Yeah, I didn't see it. My bad.
I didn't see
I put it up there, and I saw
stuff.
I saw Silver Dude, and I thought it said Chevy Dude. My bad.
You're crazy.
Yep. Andy wants a Mach-E, Cliff said.
No, thank you.
So Dr. Camper says, I'm looking to get a base ZL1 60K, 19 to 21. I'm putting 15 to 18K down with a 710 credit score. What's the best price range to get it for base on the stuff I'm going in with? So MSRP to invoice on a Camaro is you're lucky to get $2,000 on that, and they only have $1,000 rebate. So $300 to $3,500 is going to be the most that you're seeing on that. But there was somebody in here earlier asking about what a trade-in value on a ZL1 2019 ZL1 is. So maybe he or she is still in here, and you guys can connect and buy his. So Lamont says best SUV. Oh, you're reading them?
You told me I had to start reading these because you couldn't talk tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So what's the best SUV value, Yukon or a Traverse?
So those are two totally different SUVs. But if we're going for 2020 or lower Yukon, a Traverse and a Yukon have the same interior space, and the Traverse has got more usable space than the Yukon. Let's go off of behind the third row. Get my hands here so you guys can see it. Tahoe Yukon, that much. Traverse, this much.
That's guy math, right?
Yeah, guy math. Underneath the like the lift up thing, this much on the Yukon and Tahoe, this much on the Traverse. So those are the things. I can fit in the third row of a Traverse really, really easy. I can fit in the third row of a Tahoe Yukon really easy, but it's a lot stiffer. So with the 21 Tahoes and Yukons, they did away with the locking rear diff, which made more room, and they also made it 11 inches longer. So there's all that. But we sell a lot more Traverse than we do Tahoes because of the $20,000 price difference. So a loaded up LTZ or Premier and High Country Traverse is going to be $60,000, and you're going to be $80,000 on a Tahoe Yukon.
Before you answer this super chat, J Bell said, you have a Discord ? So
yes,
plug your Discord.
Yes. So go to ChevyDudeDiscord.com. Yes, I just set it up.
I was like, I don't even know what it is.
I had to think about it. I'm trying to get into Discord, so it's something new for me, and so to kind of give a little bit, I can't really talk about it much because it's Fight Club rules. So, but what I'll tell you is a guy with 50 million subscribers that likes to give away a lot of money that uploaded a video today about houses, giving away houses for $1. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And his main consultant, I've hired them to help me out on this YouTube channel. And but yeah, so I'm trying to set this up so we're on Discord, and I'm learning Discord, and I thought that was a good way to interact with everybody, right? Because I want to interact with everybody. I'm not some celebrity or goofball that I'm like, don't talk to me, right? I'm not. Hopefully, I'll never be that way. But
you tell me that all the time.
Well, that's you, right? So I'm better than you.
Rude.
I'm better than you. So just step up your A game.
You're
like on a C- D+ type game.
No, I am an A+ all the way.
Oh, geez.
You're crazy, baby.
I hope people understand that we just joke.
We have to get back to our super chats,
yes.
So you can stop your stuff. So, can I get a pickup, subprime, credit, 80,000
income?
Oh, 80,000 income, 2 G's down, and a trade-in. I am getting tired, and I have not had my contacts out in over 24 hours now.
So subprime's always tricky because it's all on a very, very big case-by-case basis. 80,000 income, can I get a pickup, subprime credit, 80,000 income, 2 G's down, and a trade-in. So if the trade-in's free and clear, and let's say the trade-in is worth $4,000, that's 6,000 equity, plus I'm taking effect that you're going to look at Ram, Ford, or Chevy, or GM. Then with the rebates and everything, yes, you should be able to. But again, it's all case by case basis, and I got to know the whole round deal. But in theory, you should be able to.
Oh wow, Siri seemed to think you were talking.
Should be to, and
no, in theory.
In theory,
that's what got.
Yeah.
Hey
that's
Siri.
Crazy. So Tina.
Yep, hubby wants to know if you've ever seen any of the zebra corner videos.
I've never heard of that. Have you?
No.
Zebra corner.
We'll have to check that out.
I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. I don't watch a lot of YouTube, and it's really bad of me. And I'm told by the people I was just talking about, if in real life we're all investors. Subway.
Okay, he's busy reading. We're going to move on. So thank you for the super chat. Boris, what you think about the KBB buying program?
So, this is that's a really great question. So, Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, TrueCar buying program. These are, I just had a customer do this. Lucas Woods. Do you know that name? Lucas and Lindsay?
Yes, I do.
Great customers of mine. And I love them to death. So military guy, really, really cool people, great kids. And I've been selling them cars since like 2011, I think. So before they were even married. So he all of a sudden walked up to my desk last Saturday and he says, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm selling my vehicle." I'm like, "What? Huh? Which vehicle?" Blah, blah, blah. And he thought because he got on TrueCar and was selling it that way that he thought he was dealing with TrueCar. TrueCar and Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is not TrueCar and Kelley Blue Book. It is a lead generation tool for the dealerships. And whoever pays those companies money gets those leads. So Kelley Blue Book and TrueCar back up those values, but in a nutshell, it's the dealership paying the money for those cars. So they are great tools. So I love both of their tools, and anything that I have talked about in the past, you see that I tell you to get a good value on your trade-in to use the Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer and the TrueCar, which is on my website, ChevyDude.com. You can go there and get those values, and they're dead on. Those are the best tools out there. So I like them, but I thought since that brought up, I would be a little long-winded, as Mrs. Chevy Dude says, that I want to let you know that you're not really dealing with those companies. You're dealing with a dealership. So use those, and it's just like CarMax. You go to CarMax, you're going to get a one set price, and it's the best price out there that you're going to get for real, true trade-in value.
Well, I am going to say that we're going to answer maybe one more question, but we've been on for over 2 hours tonight. And guess what, everybody? I am making him do this every Friday well,
Yes.
I guess this is Saturday night.
This is Saturday night.
Because you weren't around.
Yep.
We're going to try Friday nights, but I don't know. Saturday night might be the night.
Yep.
People have been on. I mean, we've had at least 200 and some people on all the time. And so, maybe let us know if you'd prefer Saturday night over a Friday night, because we can always change our plans.
Yep. I was going to do it last night, and then I just had the customer service experience that I had to do, and drove 7 hours somewhere and had to fly back home. So delivered a car.
Very cryptic.
Yeah. Drove a car, delivered a car to a customer, and then hopped on an airplane and came back, and I transported it down. So AC, yes. Emilia did. So I didn't know about this. So I haven't watched the video. But Emilia hit 9.41. So she's the first C8 in the 9s, and she just didn't go 999. She blew it away by going 941, which is absolutely awesome. Super excited that she did that. And
but now it's time for a roll cage.
It doesn't mean anything to me, but it's kind of cool that I'm the salesperson who sold the fastest Corvette in the world, right? Nobody cares about me about that. They care about Emilia, but
well, you didn't sell it to her fast.
No, she had to make it fast. But Alex Pites down in Texas, who I sold a car to as well, he's behind a lot of this 941 stuff. And then Texas Speed, who I love Texas Speed, they're behind a lot of it. And I don't know who else, but I just know Alex Pites and Texas Speed are behind a lot of that 941. So it's really, really cool, and I'm really excited for her.
Okay, so our last question we're going to answer tonight, and then when we come back next week on either Friday or Saturday night, whatever we end up doing, we're just going to be doing a lot of these type of Q&As. Some nights it might be about Corvette, some nights it might be about, financing, just whatever, but we're going to be on here to try to answer your questions as best as we can. Can't always get to things because the chat moves very fast, and, we do have to answer these super chats. But our last question, Dr. Camper wants to know, with all the C8 stuff, is it worth getting a base C8 for $65 or get a Camaro ZL1?
Corvette all day long. Corvette. So the Corvette blows away the Camaro, and I own a Camaro. So I absolutely love the C8. It's by far my favorite car ever owned. And I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't even want to buy a Lamborghini Aventador, $500 million car, right? I'd love to have one of those. I think I would rather have the Corvette. And I've had multiple people who own these expensive cars, including one guy that changes cars a different color. Texted me the other night and said he regrets it, getting rid of his. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But so yeah, I mean, the C8's an amazing car. They just did this car so right. Thanks. And Aggie Furry said thanks. He subscribed, so I appreciate that. I see a lot of people on: Valent Ashen, CC, Ben Treese,
yeah, I saw
Dennis,
somebody
Dr.
earlier
Camper.
say they.
Lou's been here from the whole time. Rand Disney.
Yeah, Cliff Bradley and Lou. Yeah. You guys have been on like this whole 2 hours. I'm sorry. But thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but thank you.
my friend Daryl did a 12-hour live stream, and I'm trying to convince my wife to let's do a 12-hour live stream. We'll have to
we do not have enough content for 12 hours.
We do. I have an idea behind it that we'll talk about off camera.
Oh my goodness.
12-hour live
12
stream.
12 hours of not peeing.
No.
The
You
dog's
get up and get up. Yeah, you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine.
You leaving me alone on here. Oh my goodness.
All right. 12-hour live stream, Mrs. Chevy
Lime
only.
stream?
Live stream, Chevy Dude, Mrs. Chevy Dude only.
Yeah, no. Earlier, and of course, I love the fact that YouTube does this now. If you put a comment that maybe has a bad word in it, or they find something with your comment that's not right, they will leave it there for me to approve it.
Yes.
And I like that because a couple times there had been some trolls on here and they were just putting some rude stuff, and like somebody said, are you guys going to blank and basically the other YouTube type of channel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thank God I can just sit there and say hide and it gets deleted.
Yeah. So that's a brand new feature that literally got rolled out this week on YouTube. And there's some glitches to it. Like if we got in there and chatted, if we got in there and typed, if like we had mods, we could be like typing to respond to somebody, and it would hide our own message. And it's just the AI that's just doing something. So
yeah, there was a couple that Chris put up that I had to approve.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. I mean, there were several I had to approve that nothing was wrong with.
Yeah.
But I was very happy that the ones that had stuff wrong, I was able to just sit there and quickly say hide, that nobody had to see it in the chat. And then a couple times we've had some trolls that actually weren't saying things wrong except for being a troll.
Yeah.
And I was just able to go in and
yeah, that's awesome. Lou, thank you so much. Ben Treese, he says 24-hour cross-country trip with the C8. That would be a good content live stream. It would be pretty funny. And we talked about that, right? So we just drove to Florida and back in the Corvette. And I said this earlier.
24-hour cross-country trip.
Yeah.
What?
24 hours in the car. So I just spent 20 hours in the Corvette. So I
hate driving that
So
long.
I went to Bowling Green to do a museum delivery. That's 2 hours from my house. I drove back another 2 hours, and then I just had one of those rough days. I didn't want to work anymore. And so I called her and I said, let's go do something. I put a post up on Facebook. You leave right now. Fly, drive, continental United States. Where would you go? You got to leave in 20 minutes. Where would you go? And I got a bunch of things. And I said, you know what? I didn't realize it was Super Bowl, and I don't watch football, but I'm like, let's go to Tampa. Let's go to Bradenton. Then I find that my buddy's got a big car show down there, drag racing event. I'm like, let's go there, and we'll just drive. So half an hour home. So there's 4.5 hours in the car. I get home at 4:00. We leave by 5:00, and we get to Bradenton, Florida at 7:30 in the morning. And I was in that car for 20 hours. And there's probably nobody that's been in a Corvette for 20 straight hours. And I'm telling you, that car is absolutely amazing. And we were in it for 15.5 straight hours for sure. But I was in it for those extra 4.5 hours. But this Corvette is absolutely amazing. So Gavin, good night, buddy.
AC said that we should live stream cooking the tomahawk. Unfortunately, the smoker is cooking the tomahawk, and you can't have the door open.
Put the camera inside there.
No,
I don't think it would work.
But on top of it, guys, Mike is not a cook. You do not want to watch him pretend to cook. He does a very good job with scallops, and he did a good job with lobster tail. But that's about.
That sounds like a cook to me.
No, that's the extent of your cooking skills.
I'll outcook you any day of the week. Any day.
Okay, so maybe we do need to live stream.
One-handed. I'll tie my right hand behind me and use my left hand.
Why do you never cook then?
Because I got you. It's your job.
And I'm a good cook.
You are. Yeah, you're okay.
You're so rude.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to start feeding you gruel.
Oh, Vipers just said he purchased a 21 white Trail Boss. Man, the Trail Bosses look so awesome. I love the Trail Boss. And, with those red tow hooks. And, I mean, the Trail Boss is the coolest thing in the world. I absolutely love it.
We did say we were getting off.
I know.
And you just keep answering.
Cooking with Mike, that'll be a good thing for a second channel. I did start a second channel. I'm just putting goofy things up there. It's called Chevy Dude Shorts. I'm just testing out this new platform that YouTube's doing on the short platform. It's doing really well. 1,600 subscribers. I'm using a lot of knowledge I'm getting from my mentor and someone behind the scenes that I'm paying to help out on the channel. So, but it is what it is. It just went poor. So that's our time. That's our time.
I don't know what's wrong with YouTube tonight.
Yeah, it's not our service. It's not us. It's definitely YouTube.
We are going to say goodnight, and we will see you guys next week.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.